We play and call it work.
Hey there guys, Quirk here, and welcome to this week's Sit and Talk featuring me. Just a quick reminder for everybody, next week is going to be a Sit and Talk with Dave, so if you have any questions or comments for him, leave it in the comment section below on the website. If you're on YouTube, there's a link in the video description below. Just put Dave before your comment or question so that he knows it's for him, and you will see him next week. So I've got a couple, 5 pages worth of comments here. So I'm going to try and get through these as best as I can. Let me set a timer here so I don't go over the 30 minutes because I'm not supposed to, as much as I want to. How do I find 30 minutes on here? There we go. All right. So we've got a timer set for 30 minutes. We'll get right into it. First question I have here is the Eye of Night. Quirk, now that you're internet famous, did you guys get randomly recognized walking around Adepticon? Yeah, we did. If you watch the Open Vault, there's actually a point when Steve and I are walking around just talking to people and seeing what's going on at the convention, and 2 kids kind of stopped us and asked us to sign their codexes, which I thought was really, really cool. So that happened a little bit. I think probably the most memorable thing was I was actually, I think I was heading back to the hotel, and I was about to walk outside, and I hear this little voice just go, "Excuse me." And I turn around, I was like, I don't see anybody. And I look down, there's a kid who's probably like 2.5 feet tall, just short little kid. He's like, "Are you from MiniWarGamers?" "Yes." "Are you Quirk?" "Yes." And then he just didn't know what to do. And his dad was like, "Do you want to get a picture with him?" So I was like, this is adorable. I've never had this happen before. So it was super exciting. But yeah, we definitely got recognized quite a bit. Just walking around. I think the weird thing for us a little bit was that you guys kind of watch us here. You know our mannerisms. You know our little quirks. Stuff like that, but we'd be walking around and somebody would stop us and be like, "Hey man, how's it going? Long time no see. What you been up to?" And then like halfway through them talking to us, they realize that we don't know who they are. So it probably happened a handful of times. People are just like, "Man, this is so cool to finally." "Oh, I just realized you have no idea who I am." We're like, "Yeah, sorry. Like, what's your name? Nice to meet you." Doing that whole thing, but yeah, it was kind of neat to have that happen. So yeah, we definitely got recognized quite a bit. We have Eric R. Nope, never mind. That wasn't for me. Sorry, Eric. 80409. Quirk, hi. Dawn of War 3. Are you going to pick it up? What is the talk around in the office about it? And, ooh, wow. It's like 8 a.m. and that first monster's already coming back up. And will you guys cover it? Yeah, I've already pre-ordered it, and I'm super excited for it. That took a chunk out of my wallet, though. Talk around the office. We've been watching a lot of the videos of people playing in the beta and a lot of the showcase videos from Sega, I think is the one who's making it. I'm super excited for it. I'm not sure how it's going to play. I've been watching a lot of the multiplayers where people are saying that it's almost like a MOBA where you have a core that you need to protect. So even if you lose your base, the game's not over. You still have to try and protect that. So that seems kind of interesting. I do like the drop pod mechanic. I think that's probably my favorite thing in the entire game so far, is that you can actually place where you want your drop pod to land. If there's a bunch of guys there, when it hits, they all go flying everywhere. It's like, that's awesome. As for us covering it, probably not. I'm probably going to play it quite a bit, so yeah, maybe, I don't know. Hopefully there's an excuse in the office for me to sit at my desk for a day and play it. Next up we have T23 Productions. Hey, not a question, but at the time of you putting up this initially on YouTube, oh, that was not for me as well. Okay, I should have scratched these out. Sorry, T23 Productions. I'm going to pre-read these a little bit. Hailwind. I'm pretty sure that's Hailwind. Hello, Quirk. First off, is the house rule on... Oh. Hello, Quirk. First off, how is the house rule coming along where ones are rerolls for you? It's not a thing. It's definitely not a thing. It needs to be a thing. Why isn't it a thing? Love your battle reports, sir. Your expressions in the face tell us how you truly feel. A few months ago, you were asked if you could put a Tau model on Dave's shrine. Did you ever end up doing that? What Tau model would you like? What Tau model do you like, and what one do you dislike and why? Okay, sorry, I'm just having a hard time reading this. Next up we have, how many dice a week do you destroy or throw away? Do you have a closet full of spares? Maybe you need to start testing the dice to see if they're weighted. Best of luck in your matches, sir. So yeah, for the whole re-rolling ones house rule thing, that's not going to become a thing as much as I really need it to be. As for putting a Tau model on Dave's shrine, I stuck one on there. I don't even think he realized that it was a thing. I just put a Fire Warrior on his on there. I don't even think he noticed that I was doing it. I think he was just kind of like, oh, this model's here, and put it away. As for like Tau models, which one's my favorite? I'm a huge fan of the Crisis Battlesuits, the ones with the giant railguns, but I'm talking the old school ones where it was like they were pewter guns on top of plastic models, so it would be like this giant heavy thing that you're barely able to strap onto that model. Really big fan of those. Models I dislike from Tau, anything Kroot. They're okay, I just don't like the look of them. That's all. And how many dice a week do I destroy or throw away? Enough. There's a regular basis, like yesterday, for example, I was just playing a one-off game, and I'm pretty sure I threw like 4 dice at the wall. So, yeah. Yeah. William Ka, Quirk, master of subatomic particles. I have tried to remove the curse. Oh, I have tried to remove the curse of your. Oh, the cause of your curse. You have one chance to make a model. Oh, okay. You have one chance to make a model real for your army. What do you pick? Please show. Oh, one model to make real. I don't know. And also, how am I a master of subatomic particles? Okay. One chance to make a model of your army real. Probably something I'm working on right now. And if I had to pick, it would probably be the Custodes, because I just think they're awesome. And because I wouldn't mind having my own little real Custodes running around. So, whoop, I just kicked the camera. Hello, Rob.
Hi, Quirky.
I'm in the middle of a sit and talk. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad. All right, I'm going to get back to this. Stingray Bill. Hey, Quirk. My lore on 2nd and 11th Legions are coming along well. Good. I shall be sharing some of it with you in your audience over time. The 11th Legion's homeworld is produced the Sisters of Silence, and 3 of the Legion Marines are women. Oh, okay. They are called the Death Maidens. Nice. And they also possess a pariah gene. Legion is carried on the crusade. Oh, okay. The Legion's carried on the crusade over the last 10,000 years and are still fighting chaos, whom they are looking to destroy so they can continue building their own empire that now consists of over 8,700 worlds, including 500 within the warp itself. Neat. Until my next reveal, I wish you guys continued success, and I hope I can make it to the next Adepticon. All right, man. Would love to see you at the next Adepticon and see some more on that legion. Those legions. That sounds awesome. I like the Death Maiden's name. That's pretty sweet. Next up, we have Grave Robber. Hey, Quirk. I was wondering how all was going. Oh, hi, Quirk. I was wondering who all was going to Valhalla this year. If you are, I would like to challenge you to an orc versus orc battle to see who is the better war boss. Is that cool with you? Thank you and have a great day. P.S. I also suffer from bad rolling too. Yes, I'm not the only one. I think for Valhalla it's going to be Dave, Josh, and myself. I think. Don't quote me on that. That's my best understanding of who's going. It could change at any time, so that's not set in stone. But if I do go, I will definitely bring my orcs, and I would love to have a orc versus orc battle with you. Just email me so we know how many points, and I will make a list so that I know what to put in my luggage. Next up, we have Samus O'Leary. Hey, Quirk. Josh said we should ask you about the sleeping arrangements at Adepticon. Okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of a mix-up on where people were supposed to sleep when it came to the hotel. So the first night that we got there, we only had, I think, 1 hotel room. So it was Matt, Chris, and Steve all sleeping in that hotel room. And then Dave, Josh, and myself all stayed at Aaron's house. You guys have seen Aaron in a number of the videos. He does Cool Guys Nation. So when that sleeping arrangement for us was fine, Dave, Josh, and myself. I slept on a couch, Josh slept on an air mattress, and Dave took the spare room. It was fine. Everything worked perfectly. As for Chris, Steve, and Matthew, apparently like halfway through the night, because Chris snores. Oh, does Chris snore? Oh. So Chris snores like crazy, and Matt couldn't sleep. So he got frustrated, went downstairs, and went, okay, I need a new room. Please tell me there's one available. Took it right away. Turned out to be the one right next door. And suddenly we had extra room because Matt just couldn't take it anymore. But the next night, and the rest of the nights after that, it was Matt and Dave in one room with 2 beds. Chris and Steve in one room with 2 beds. Josh and I in one room with 1 bed and an air mattress. But it was a king-size bed. So I told Josh, I was like, I don't want to sleep on an air mattress. You don't want to sleep on an air mattress. Let's just take a bunch of pillows, build a pillow wall, and we'll both sleep on one side of these, each take our own side of this bed. It was big enough that you could fit like Steve between us, and we still have wiggle room. So he's like, I just sleep on the air mattress. And my rebuttal was, no, I'm not sleeping on the air mattress. I'm sleeping on the bed. So first night we did that. And yep, we set the pillows. Everything was fine. No big deal. The next night, I came in after him and he was already asleep. Like he was out cold. And I'm trying to talk to him. I was like, hey, how was your day? Like, what'd you get up to? He's like, meh, meh. I was like, all right, fine. So I'm crashing in bed. And about halfway through the night, I feel like I'm on my side and I feel this hand just kind of like right here and it's trying to like pull me into snuggle. I'm like, what is happening? No. So no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. So I end up sleeping like way on the edge of the bed. I didn't get out of the bed. I slept on the very edge of the bed and he slept on the edge, and that was the rest of the night. He was trying to cuddle. I told him about that. He's like, I'm sorry, I missed my girlfriend. And I was like, okay, that's fair. I can understand that. So the next night, I was the one who fell asleep first, and he's there. And apparently in the middle of the night, I like started to like creep across the side of the bed, but the bottom of the sheets were tucked in so tight that I couldn't move my feet. So it's basically like my body was doing this. So I'm like reached all the way over trying to reach it, Josh, because I felt like warmth because I was cold. So Josh got out of bed and he's like, Quirk, get up. Get back on your side of the bed. Quirk, get up. Okay, I'm going to take a picture of you now so you can see how far onto my side of the bed you are. And then I'm going to slap you so that you can move over. No? Okay. Took the picture. Slapped me. And I was like, went back to sleep. It hit me a couple times before I actually moved back over. So yeah, that was the sleeping arrangement. And now Josh is like, I don't ever want to share a room with Quirk. And I was like, I don't ever want to share a room with Josh. So we learned. Why did I tell you guys that story? Okay. Yes, Rob?
Nothing.
Okay. Okay.
Waiting.
Oh. Rob's making coffee.
Hey, about members.
No, this is just this is the open
Hey,
vault.
YouTube members, happy wargaming!
Why does your hand smell like rubber?
Because I was painting and rubberizing weapons.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sybil, Quirk, I saw the announcement video that you guys are going to Valhalla. Fantastic. Also, it looks like you're one of the ones going. Even more fantastic. My brother, who is awesome, is bringing me along to Valhalla this year. Nice. We are both building Gorka Morka teams for some scrap finding action. We're planning on putting together a mini wargaming style Gorka Morka game for the retreat. Would you and possibly other Orcs of Hazard, would you and possibly your Orcs of Hazard like in on the fun? We've already asked Josh, and I'm going to ask Dave too. Feel free to go ahead and spread the word. The more the merrier. Yeah, actually. As always, happy wargaming. Yeah, actually. My Orcs of Hazard have been sitting on my shelf for a while. They need to go find some scrap. So yeah, I'd definitely be down for that. That's an easy thing to transport. That's just a car and some dudes. So in the word of Steve, some duders. Yeah, I can definitely do that. That's not a problem at all. But that again is with the whole guarantee that I am going to Valhalla. Next up we have Wiz Pete. Quirk, love your enthusiastic approach to your games, even after you can't seem to roll above ones. So what is your favorite army? Have you refound love for Grey Knights, or does Alfarius still rock your world? Would be nice to know. So right now, Grey Knights are definitely on the top of my like favorite to play list, because they're not. I think they're the first army that I can play that's actually, aside from like Ultramarines, that are actually able to sway from hyper competitive, can take on crazy things, to fun, fluffy, I'm going to bring this joke list and see what happens. And they have the option to do that. It's not difficult to be like, hey, let's take a bunch of Paladins, Drago, and a Death Knight, and stick them all in some crazy armor and have them go across the board, and suddenly it becomes very powerful. And then if I want to, I can be like, oh, you know what, let's try something a little bit more fluffy. I'm going to bring a bunch of Justicars and a bunch of Interceptors, and let's take some Cleansers and things like that. So it has the models for me to be able to do something like that, which I like. But the whole Alpha Legion thing, that's more for 30K. I still like playing Alpha Legion. I'm still working on my Ultramarines because that's they're literally the very last thing I get to work on. But I've recently started not playing, but working on Custodes. So I've got the Tribune model, which does really nothing. I've got 5 of the guys, I'm not going to remember their names because I haven't read it enough. I've got 5 of the guys with the big bolter guns. I've got 5 guys with halberds and 5 sword and board guys. So that's what I've got so far, which I'm pretty sure is almost a 1,500 point army by itself if I throw in transports. So, but that's what I'm working on right now. I'm excited to try and get them out for 30K, give them a test run, just because everybody kind of needs, we all kind of need 2 armies for 30K. So we're all kind of working on our secondary armies. Like if we've started off a loyalist one, we're switching over to a traitor one. A little bit tricky for me because I'm like, I'm not a traitor, but in the codex, I guess it says I can be a traitor. So, yeah. Still pretty happy with Alpha Legion. I like playing them. I'm starting to wrap my head around them a little bit more on how I can use them. I realized I was putting too much effort into their tricks, which is like everybody infiltrates, everybody does the whole sneaking around thing. You bring the Coils of the Hydra and you can bring something else. I was bringing the Fulminatars. I'm kind of swaying away from that and switching more to just traditional play where it's, okay, I'm going to bring regular guys. I'm not going to do the infiltrate thing. I'm going to focus on proper firepower and actual like ability to take out things strategically, not just, hey, watch me jump across the board and do really neat tricks. So, yeah. But yeah, Alfaria still rocks my world. Big Mike. Quirk, great interviews at Adepticon. I have 2 questions for you. First, how many people offered you blessings of the dice gods? And second, did being across from Privateer Press and talking to the guys from the booth change your feelings about the game, or are you still not enthused about it as you once were because of the pre-measuring? Okay, so the first thing, yes, pretty much everybody who came to the booth who knew what I was just like, dude, your rolls, I'm so sorry. If I could do anything to fix that, I absolutely would. That was a regular thing. Yeah, a couple people were like, I'm going to try and like save you from the curse. Okay, try rolling a die. 1. Okay, apparently I'm not that mystic. Never mind. And then walk away. Yeah. And the second thing, sitting across from the Privateer Press booth and talking to the guys, it did change my mind a little bit. It got me kind of excited for the Glotkin. I'm sorry, the Grimkin. I'm looking at a Glotkin right. Okay. The new Hordes faction. I'm excited for that one. I'm not even going to try to say their name anymore because I'm looking at something that has a very similar name. I'm going to mess it up again. But yeah, it was really cool talking with everybody there. William was awesome. It was really cool talking to him. It did get me a little bit more excited to play the game again, just because he was saying that they're trying to, pretty much the thing that made me super excited and want to start playing it right away was when he said that we were playing it right. A lot of people play with like these mousepad style terrain, so you can get every measurement absolutely perfect. They don't bother with the burning thing. They don't bother with all this other stuff. And I stick terrain all over the place. I want stuff to get in the way. I want stuff to block charges. I want stuff that doesn't slow you down. I want stuff that stops you. You need to go around it. You need to try and figure a way under it or over it. Or if you want to go through it, okay, you actually have to traverse your way through it. I wanted to play it like that. And he said that's exactly how we want it to be played. You did phenomenal. That's how the game's supposed to be played. And he even mentioned, he's like, I don't care for this mousepad terrain stuff. I was like, okay. But no, what definitely didn't help while I was sitting across from there, and definitely got me psyched again, was this. I have a drawer full of this stuff now. So I went ahead and I picked up 1, 2, oh, these are bases, hang on. 1, 2, 3, I'm gonna have a pile in here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 boxes worth of stuff. Yeah, all kinds of stuff that I picked up there. Most of the blisters you see here are all the Privateer Press exclusives, so I got things like the Blighted Bather, the Keg Protector, stuff like that. So I was super excited to grab all those, but also seeing all the new stuff that's coming out got me all hyped up and excited. So yeah, I kind of want to start playing it again, but I need to. The thing is, I have a bunch of armies. I have a ton of armies. I haven't played them in so long. I don't know if they're still feasible. I don't know if my lists that I have are any good. So I need to kind of look it over again. I know my cephalics are still pretty good. They haven't changed them around too much, so I might play them a little bit. But no, for the most part, I need to start from scratch, which is why I'm probably gonna play with the Grimkin stuff. Right. So yeah, I am excited again. I still want to play. It's just a hard problem now of trying to find somebody to play against, because a lot of people in the local meta have shifted to other games, and it's also really difficult because I don't remember how to play everything. I know the basic rules. If I was to sit down and go one game with somebody who knew, I'd be okay. But I definitely need to re-remember everything, and especially with the new books and stuff like that, I wouldn't know what I'd be going up against. I'd be starting from scratch. But I do want to start playing again. Right. ABPBM. Quirk, when are you going to update your 30k armies? Have you also sought tactical help in order to win more games? Keep it up. Updating my 30k armies, I think I mentioned that before. I've got the custodians I'm working on. I've got a couple ultramarine things, which you can kind of see a little bit of here. A little bit of it. Yeah, there's some stuff right there. As for looking for tactical help, yes and no. I've been asking actually a lot for people to send me lists that they would like me to play, and I've had a couple people send one. Somebody sent me a Grey Knight list, which I think should be coming out in the next couple weeks. You'll see I actually do a shout out for them. Super excited to play with that. It was super fun to play with that as well. But I liked it because it was completely against everything I would normally do for Grey Knights. It was a lot of, you hit the board, you do a couple attacks, you jump back up with Gate of Infinity, land somewhere else. You had a Psyker who had like 7 psychic powers. He's only mastery level 3 though. All this crazy stuff. So I was like, wow, I never would have ever thought to try something like this. So it took me out of my comfort zone, out of what I normally do. He gave me a little blurb of Tacticon, how to play it, and I was like, okay, let's see how this works. Had a great game. It was interesting because it took a lot of the work out of it for me. I didn't have to build the list because the list was already pre-built. I didn't have to worry about the tactical. The tactical was already pre-built. It was more wrapping my head around how he wanted me to play it, and that was a bit of a challenge. So I very much enjoyed that because it opened my eyes to a little bit more tactics, and I'm finding that now when I play other armies, I'm incorporating tactics that I learned from you guys, from sending me your lists, and the way you want me to play those lists, I'm actually able to apply those to other armies. So it's definitely broadening my understanding of how to play this game and how to think tactically. So I do appreciate that. If you guys have lists that you want me to play, please email me them. It's quirk@miniwargaming.com. If I don't reply to you right away, I'm not ignoring you. I swear. It takes me forever to actually sit down and respond to all your emails. So if somebody's emailed me and you guys are getting upset because I haven't responded to you, I am getting to you. I swear. It's just every time one of these happens, my inbox goes from like 0 to 100 in no time flat. So I swear I'm not ignoring you guys. Next up we have No Name Wit. No Name Wit. Okay. Hey Quirk, Josh mentioned that you got some Legion Custodes models. What's the plan for them? Are you building a 30k Talons of the Emperor, or are they 40k? So again, I've answered most of that already. My Talons of the Emperor are going to be both 30k and 40k. It means I have to get twice as many vehicles. That's not a big deal. It might mean I have to pick up a few extra Custodes models. Again, that's not a big deal. I've got most of the stuff I need right now just to get started. I've got 5 of each of the loadouts that are available. So I've got, I'll show you. I've got the Halberd guys who are painted. That one's done. I've got Sword and Shield. This one only has a sword on them right now. I have all the shields separate because I want to paint them before I stick them on. And I've also got the Bolter guys. Look at the size of that bolter. Holy. Picked that up at Adepticon. Was super happy to grab that. So I've got all them. Working on them very slowly because I'm trying to pick out all the little details. It's really hard to cut into the gold, especially like when you consider someone like, this is an example of what I'm doing. I've got Guilliman here. Come on, focus on Guilliman. Take the attention off me for a minute. There we go. So I'm trying to work on all the inner trim there. So I painted the gold first, and I'm just doing the inlay of blue. And I'm finding that to be pretty tricky, but you kind of have to do the same thing with all the Custodes because you do the gold first because that's what takes the most work and takes the most effort to get all the little edges to go from a dark rose gold all the way up to a nice silver. So yeah, I'm finding that takes quite a while. But yeah, that's the plan for them. They're going to be both 30k and 40k. I just have to gear them both out. Okay. Next up we have Maltiuk. Maltiuk. I'm going to go with Maltiuk. The artist formerly known as Beverly, a.k.a. Captain Quirk, a.k.a. Mohawk Duder. I'm getting quite a number of names here. What is your backbone Ultramarine force? I'm building Space Marine force up, and I'd like to alternate between Salamanders and Ultramarines. I get the Salamanders pretty well, but still trying to understand the Smurfs. So with the Ultramarines, there's a couple different things you can do. Sorry guys, it's early in the morning. I'm still trying to get stuff out of my eyes. So there's two things that I'm a huge fan of. One is the double Gladius Strike Force. I think I've played it so much now that Matt told me I'm not allowed to bring it ever again. Mostly because if you bring the double Battle Demi Company, double Battle Demi Company, all your vehicles are free. So your drop pods, your rhinos, your razorbacks, all those are free, which is huge when you consider how many points you're saving with that and what you can do with those, because they're all objective secured. So now you've got drop pods you can throw on an objective. Okay, that didn't cost me anything. You can throw rhinos all over the place. Like, yeah, it didn't cost me anything. It's only a 5-man squad in there. But you've got so many models, and now they all get the transports for free. It's fantastic. So that's a good baseline. That's what I started with when I was trying to figure out how to play Ultramarines. And it gave me an idea of how to wrap my head around them, because you're able to do the combat doctrines, but then you're also able to do it again because you're Ultramarines. And if you feel the need to, you can also bring Marnius Calgar and do it a third time. You shouldn't need to do it a third time, and you don't really want to bring a Lord of War just for that, but it does help. Then after that, there's another formation that I was bringing, the Skyhammer Annihilation Force. Now be careful, this one's kind of dirty if you gear it out too much. It's 2 Devastator squads, and they have to be in drop pods, and then 2 assault squads. Everything comes on turn 1, ignoring the drop pod rules. And when they land, all your Devastators gain Relentless, and when they shoot at a target, your Assault Marines can re-roll the charge in the first turn, charging at that unit, and they can also, I think it's re-roll to hit or to wound or something like that. Basically, it's a very aggressive turn 1 opener. I played it against Dave once, and this was the game that Dave told me, like, okay, you know what, you can take the gloves off, bring your A-game list, because I don't think he realized I was able to do this. He's like, bring your A-game Smurf list. I just want to see what the best Smurfs can do. I was like, okay. So I brought that, and almost nearly one model left over, almost tabled him turn 1. So, and that was just with that formation. I didn't use anything else that I had in the army. And I had things like Grav Centurions. I had, I think that was pretty much it. That was like the beef of my force. Everything else was like tactical Marines or bikes and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a really dirty formation to bring. So yeah, those would be the 2 things I would say look into. That's what I started with when I was learning how to play Ultramarines. I have a better understanding of them now. You can start expanding from there if you want. I know Games Workshop a little while ago was actually selling a Battle Demi Company box, which had, I think it was like 3 units of Tactical Marines, Assault Marines, a Devastator Squad, and a Dreadnought. So there's a starter for you there if you're interested, if you want to pick that up too, just to kind of help your forces expand. Next up we have Dave Byron. I'm going to call you Dave. Hey Quirk, do you watch the YouTube series If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech Device by Bruva Alphabuza? Okay. It's probably the most entertaining way to learn about the 40k lore. Keep up the good work and never stop rolling ones. I want to stop rolling ones. Yes, I love that series. My absolute favorite thing in that entire series is when Magnus and the Emperor are arguing on whether or not the Emperor uses the word or the term heresy too much. And then it cuts off to this little thing where it shows a guardsman and he picks up a magazine. It's like, oh, heresy, and then he gets shot. And then his commissar is like, oh, heresy, and he gets shot. And then a space marine comes in, oh, heresy, he gets shot. And then his sister comes in, oh, heresy. And it keeps going, until finally it shows like the one guy up in space with in his battle cruiser. He's like, they're just killing themselves down here. Probably should just exterminate us, everybody. Go! And he just starts smashing the button. You see the planet explode. I'm like, that's amazing. But it made me think about it. I'm like, yeah, they really do abuse the word heresy. Oh, I love that episode. That's so good. Okay. How am I doing for time here? Okay. I have 1 minute left, so I should be able to get at least 2 more in. Bisa, BZB, Quirk, a.k.a. Beverly. Just wondering how people are settling into 30k now that it's been out for a while, and what are the thoughts about the balance versus 40k? Also, will there be another Path to Glory campaign with you versus Dave, either Sigmar or 40k, because they are awesome, and randomizing army composition is very entertaining. Keep up the good work, and do more clown scares on Steve. Cheers. For us settling into 30k, I think we're all getting comfortable and almost a little bit bored. Okay, I say we're getting a little bit bored. We are pretty much spoiled here because we have access to each other's armies, we have access to the studio armies, we have access to all the stuff. We play every day on a regular basis, so it's very, very, very easy for us to kind of get worn out with a certain army. For example, with me with Alpha Legion, I got so used to the list I was playing that I was like, okay, I'm on autopilot at this point, I'm not really doing anything, and I need to snap out of that. So I started painting up other vehicles that we had here, I started bringing other things, and even then I was like, okay, now I need to grab something else. So I'm grabbing the Ultramarines. Okay, now I'm starting to understand the Ultramarines. Oh, Custodians. Okay, I'm going to grab Custodians. We all kind of get like that. So we've gotten really comfortable in 30k to the point where we know what each other are bringing. Oh, that's my 30 minutes. Okay. So we know what each other are bringing, and we opt to say, okay, well, I'm going to try something a little bit different here. I'm going to try something a little bit different here. And we've all gotten very comfortable with it. So as for the balance, yeah, we've all gotten comfortable. We've all settled in pretty well. Our understanding of the rules has definitely tightened up for 30k. As for balance versus 40k, I think 30k is incredibly more balanced than 40k. Simply because you've got just the legions. There's a very shared similarity between all the legions. The Mechanicum are just, let's just take them and put them aside for a second and pretend they aren't a thing. When you consider all the legions and the way they function, the way they all work, they all have very similar things. You've got your tactical marines, you've got your veteran tactical marines, you've got your terminators, you've got your leaders, your HQ models, and then after that, it's, okay, all your vehicles. And then it's like, okay, after that, now you've got your Legion-specific special units, which are just variants of whatever anybody else already has access to, and you've also got a couple special rules and a Primarch. Okay, that's more than understandable, and that's totally fair, as opposed to 40k, where it's like, okay, I have access to a bunch of vehicles and Melta, and if I want to spend a crazy ton of points, I'll have access to a D weapon. But if you're Eldar, you can spend like 230 points and have 5 guys with flamethrowers that have strength D. So, or you can get vibro cannons that are D, or whatever the cannons are. So there's definitely a balancing issue there. But I definitely find 30k quite a bit more balanced. As for Dave and I doing another Path to Glory, we haven't talked about it. There's nothing really in the works right now. I can mention it to him and see if there's something he'd like to do. I know right now he's trying to get into Age of Sigmar, so maybe after he has a couple rounds with that and gets used to it, we might talk about doing something there. But again, that's something I gotta talk to him about. And lastly, I will do what I can to clown scare Steve as much as I want, as much as I can. So, all right. I said I was gonna try and get 2 more done. I didn't realize that question was gonna go for that long. So there you go, guys. That's gonna be it for the first 30 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Vault members, go ahead and click on the link below to see another 30 minutes of me in the vault answering the remainder of your questions as best as I can, as best as I possibly can. If you're not already a vault member, you can go ahead and click that link anyway. You'll get access to a 7-day free trial. It gives you access to things like more painted tutorials, the second half of all of our sit and talks, access to thousands of battle reports, as well as all the extra stuff that we like to throw in the vault for you guys, like open vaults, behind the scenes reviews, stuff like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. One last reminder, next week is going to be a sit and talk with Dave. So if you have any questions or comments for him, leave that in the comment section below. Just put Dave before your question or comment so that we know it's for him. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy wargaming.